Do you really think that last purchase was your decision? Psychologically, your wallet was hijacked 10 minutes ago. You think you're a rational, sharp professional making deliberate choices. You track your ROI to the decimal. You build sophisticated marketing funnels. And you certainly don't get played by a simple grocery store layout. But the uncomfortable truth is, 90% of your movements in a physical store are actually being remote controlled by an architect you've never met. And it is costing you exactly 37% more than you planned to spend. Imagine walking into a high-end car dealership. You think you're just evaluating the vehicle, but the floor texture just subtly changed under your feet. Without you even registering it, your brain just decided to spend an extra $5,000 on premium features. I'm going to show you the invisible remote control being used on your brain every single day. There is one specific layout glitch that, if fixed, increases average order value by nearly 40% without changing a single price tag. I'll reveal exactly how to spot this 37% blind spot at the end of this video. To understand how this invisible remote control operates, we have to look at the exact moment you walk through those sliding glass doors. You are entering what retail psychologists call the airlock. Ever notice how the first 15 feet of a major store is always completely empty? That is not a waste of expensive commercial real estate. It is a mental car wash. When you or your customers walk into a building, the brain is still unpacking the stress of the parking lot, dodging traffic, and finishing up a mental to-do list. The customer's mind is still outside. If you try to sell someone something in this exact space, it's like trying to pitch a complex B2B enterprise deal to a prospect while they are literally sprinting to catch a city bus. They physically cannot see your offer. I actually learned this the hard way early in my career. I once tried to sell a high-ticket consulting package to an executive while we were speed walking through a crowded convention hallway. It went about as well as a marriage proposal at a funeral. Total silence. The math behind this behavior is brutal. The foundational data from 2024 and 2025 has firmly established the baseline of our current reality here in 2026. Studies show that 95% of items placed in this airlock are completely ignored by customers. Let me translate that into your reality as a business owner or a sales professional. If you place your best products, your newest inventory, or your key signage in those first 15 feet, you are effectively burning 100% of the marketing budget for those products. You are setting your cash on fire because human biology literally prevents the buyer from processing the information. Actually, let's do a quick reality check right now. How many times have you walked into a store, grabbed a shopping cart, and for 3 seconds completely blanked on the one item you actually drove there to buy? Drop the word blank in the comments right now if that happens to you. I promise you aren't losing your memory. You just got scrubbed by the airlock. Your brain was forcibly transitioned, wiping your short-term focus to prepare you for the store's environment. But what happens the exact second you step out of that airlock and regain your focus? You do something so predictable, it's actually a little insulting to our sense of free will. We are biologically hardwired to drift to the right. Whether it is a byproduct of our driving habits or the simple fact that the vast majority of the population is right-handed, 90% of customers enter a space and immediately bank right like a professional race car driver. Retail psychologists call this the NASCAR reflex. Because of this natural invariant drift, the wall directly to your right is known in the industry as the power wall. If your highest margin product isn't sitting 15 feet in and to the right, you are essentially hiding your profit in a basement. The foundational data from 2024 established the baseline of our current reality. Products placed on this right-hand power wall receive 2.5 times more eye contact than products on the left. Think about that for a second. If you are an ambitious small business owner setting up a physical shop, a B2B sales professional organizing a trade show booth, or even a digital marketer designing a visual layout with a left-side focus, you are fighting a biological war you cannot win. It is exactly like trying to get a toddler to eat broccoli by locking it inside a heavy steel safe. You can scream about the nutritional value and the ROI all day, but they literally can't get to it. Just move the broccoli to the right. Let's do a quick poll, actually. Are you right-handed or left-handed? Because even lefties get swept up in this current. Drop a righty or lefty in the comments right now. I guarantee even the lefties are turning right without realizing it. So, you've survived the airlock and you've naturally drifted right. But here is the truly terrifying part. Now that they have you facing the right direction, the architect needs to guide you deeper into the store without saying a single word. How do they pull your strings next? They use a technique called Lux-Mapping, which is essentially using lighting as a remote control for your physical body. Listen to me. Your eyes are like moths. As a species, we don't actually look at things. We look at light. Retailers know this. They use Lux-Mapping to create an invisible digital breadcrumb trail. What they do is intentionally dim the main walking aisles, but then they blast the high-margin product displays with 50 to 70 lumens of targeted LED lighting. You walk through the store thinking you are casually browsing and making independent, rational choices. In reality, you are just a moth following a flashlight in the dark. This isn't just an artsy design choice. A pivotal 2025 German retail study, which firmly set the standard for how stores operate today in 2026, proved that when stores switched to targeted LED Lux-Mapping, they saw a massive 19% jump in sales and a 15% increase in foot traffic to those specific high-profit zones. They literally shined a spotlight on their bank accounts. If you aren't highlighting your core offer, your customer is completely blind to its value. Now that we know how they steer you with layout and light, it's time for a quick gut check. I want to test your intuition. Why is the milk and the bread always at the very back of the grocery store? Think fast. 3, 2, 1. The answer is friction. If you said, so it stays fresh near the loading docks, you are completely wrong, but that's fine. What's terrifying isn't your logistics knowledge, it's that your brain just fell for the ultimate illusion. The milk isn't at the back to stay cold. It's at the back so you are forced to walk past the $12 artisanal cheese and the limited edition Oreos first. Retailers call this the path of friction. By forcing you to walk the full 200 feet for a $4 gallon of milk, they actively expose you to $4,000 worth of impulsive triggers. This journey from the entrance to the milk fridge is officially known as the Gruen Vortex. It is an intentional maze designed to confuse your senses, make you forget your original grocery list, and turn a $4 errand into a $200 hostage negotiation with your own cravings. Have you ever noticed how the floor always goes from hard, noisy tile to soft, plush carpet the exact second you step near the high-end suits, the luxury watches, or the premium tech lounge? Those textural shifts aren't just there to make your feet feel good. Retail psychologists call these specific zones brake pads. When you are walking on hard surfaces, like polished concrete, hardwood, or vinyl tile, your body naturally wants to move fast. The acoustics echo, the shopping cart rattles, and your brain receives a subconscious, environmental signal of efficiency and speed. You are commuting, you are not shopping. But the instant your shoes hit a soft surface, the carpet absorbs the ambient sound. It cushions your joints. It physically forces your kinetic energy to drop, making your body slow down and dwell. And in the brutal arithmetic of physical retail and B2B sales, dwell time is literally cash. For every single extra second a customer stands on that carpet, the mathematical probability of a purchase increases by 1.2%. Let's look at the established baseline of our current reality as we stand here in 2026. Recent 2025 flooring analytics conclusively prove that these textural transitions can increase dwell time by up to an astonishing 34% in high-ticket areas. Think about what that means for your bottom line. If you are an ambitious small business owner opening a physical storefront or a B2B sales professional setting up a premium trade show booth, that simple patch of carpet is the literal difference between a prospect who is just looking as they speed walk past your display and a highly profitable closed deal. It is exactly like those annoying speed bumps they put in a school zone, but instead of protecting kids, they're protecting the store's quarterly earnings from your own self-control. Now, we need to address the massive elephant in the room, the glitch I promised you at the beginning of this video. Building on the NASCAR reflex we discussed earlier, we know that human beings have a biological instinct to drift to the right, but there is one specific, invisible layout hack that weaponizes this very instinct against you. The secret to the 37% blind spot is a deeply uncomfortable psychological trigger known as the counterclockwise loop. What happens if an architect intentionally forces you to go left? By designing a physical bottleneck that forces a customer to walk strictly against their natural, right-leaning instinct, making them take a sharp, unexpected left turn right at the midway point of their shopping experience, the brain experiences a sudden, massive spike in cognitive load. When your brain's cognitive load increases, it gets tired, frustrated, and overwhelmed. And a tired brain is a highly impulsive brain. In that exact moment of spatial confusion, you suddenly become significantly less likely to pull out your smartphone and price compare. You stop doing the rational math on your budget, and your subconscious takes over, throwing premium items into your cart just for the dopamine hit. Retailers who successfully flipped their floor plans to force a 37-degree left turn at the exact halfway point of the store saw an immediate 37% 47% spike in total revenue. They literally hacked the brain's biological navigation system to shut down your critical thinking and drain your wallet. Let's do a quick reality check for the ambitious small business owners, sales professionals, and digital marketers watching this right now. Are you currently letting your customers coast on autopilot, or are you actively disrupting their flow to trigger an impulse decision? Drop the word disruptor in the comments right now if you are going to test a strategic bottleneck in your sales process this week, or drop autopilot if you're too afraid to cause friction. I want to see who is actually applying this psychology to their business. Now you know exactly how these massive retail corporations control your physical body, your navigation, and your spatial awareness. But do you know how they control your fundamental sense of value? There is a highly manipulative psychological trick called the Decoy effect that is designed to make a deeply overpriced $1,000 product look like the absolute bargain of the century. And here is the harsh economic reality. If you do not deeply understand how the Decoy effect works, you are still leaving exactly half of your potential profit on the table, even if you have the most perfectly engineered, counterclockwise store layout in the world. Stop being the person who blindly pays for the architect's yacht. Click the video on your screen right now to see exactly how to use the Decoy effect and start building your own empire. I'll see you there.